Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Thursday, November 13, 2025. And in the news this evening, heavy traffic in Linstead following alleged shootout. There is heavy traffic in Linstead following a reported overnight shootout between police and the suspected gunman on the Linstead bypass. The news understands that the cars were practically at a standstill at the Rosemount roundabout on the bypass. Part of the road where the incident, in which 4 men were killed, has been blocked off, allowing Independent Commission of Investigation personnel to process the scene. The scene was littered with yellow police markers, often used to mark spent shells, and one of the vehicles was peppered with holes. It is understood that the 4 men were suspects in an earlier shooting incident in Guys Hill in the parish that left 1 person dead and another injured. Businessman murdered in Guys Hill identified. The police have identified a businessman who was killed on Wednesday night by gunmen who were reportedly later fatally shot by cops in St. Catherine. He is Horace Crossman, otherwise called Godi, of Benbow District, Middlesex, St. Catherine. Reports are that about 7 p.m., a man was walking along the Middlesex main road in Guys Hill when he was attacked by 2 armed men who beat him with their guns. The hoodlums then went to a shop operated by Crossman and demanded service, however he was not inside. They then reportedly went outside to a shed where they found a Crossman and fired shots at him. They reportedly fled from the scene in a Kia motor car. The police were summoned and the Crossman was observed laying in a pool of blood in front of the shop. He had what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the left side of the neck. He was taken to the Linstead hospital where he was pronounced dead. The alleged gunmen were later intercepted by police and were reportedly killed in a shootout. 52 people prosecuted for overcharging fares, 32 vehicles seized. The Transport Authority says it effected 52 prosecutions in the first 3 days since it began cracking down on the overcharging of fares following Hurricane Melissa. It said 32 motor vehicles were also seized in its Operation Reset, which was launched on Monday. Managing Director at the authority, Ralston Smith, says the authority will ramp up its operations across the island to stamp the illegal practice of overcharging of fares. As such, operators who continue to overcharge passengers could have their road license suspended or revoked, he says. In the meantime, commuters are being encouraged to assist the authority in cracking down on this practice by reporting incidents of overcharging by calling 876-926-8212 or WhatsApp at 876-551-8196 and providing the license plate numbers and the routes for the vehicles. Persons may also send the images or videos of the vehicles in which you experience overcharging. INDECOM refers funeral assistance for family of man killed by police. The Independent Commission of Investigations says it has reached out to the family of Matthew Small to assist with the referral process for a funeral grant. Small was one of 2 persons who died during a police fatal shooting incident in Newton, St. Catherine on December 13, 2024. According to INDECOM, the planned police operation had no eyewitnesses and no body-worn cameras were issued or used by the police team involved. Since 2021, INDECOM has been integrating investigations with social intervention referrals through its family liaison officers. This initiative seeks to provide social and economic support to citizens beyond the agency's formal investigations into complaints or allegations against the law enforcement officials. INDECOM said it recognizes that pairing investigations with practical assistance helps build trust in institutions and addresses humanitarian challenges faced by affected families. Commissioner of INDECOM, Hugh Faulkner, explained that beyond the need for independent and the factual resolution of cases that we investigate. Our complainants and their families may require additional support, which includes referrals for counseling and social services to improve livelihood and foster resilience after the death of the caregiver of the household. While the formal inquiry by the investigative teams is conducted, there is a parallel social intervention mechanism which aims to give guidance on assessing support for affected individuals who may require emotional, financial, or physical assistance. Most referrals made by INDECOM are directed to the Victim Services Branch of the Ministry of Justice, the Office of the Children's Advocate, and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. Since introducing the investigation with referral mechanism, INDECOM's FLOs have made over 160 referrals to victim services for counseling, 14 programs of advancement through health and education referrals, 30 referrals for funeral grants, 2 each for education grants and compassionate housing, and 1 each to the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Jamaica Association for the Deaf. To date, INDECOM has confirmed 11 successful referrals for funeral grants, 4 path referrals, and the donation of a wheelchair from Food for the Poor. The Commission emphasized that while a referral does not guarantee grant assistance, it represents an important first step in improving citizens' access to welfare support. Currently, INDECOM has 2 family liaison officers coordinating this initiative across its 5 regional teams. Fury over frogs in tank. Councillor for the Beechertown Division, the People's National Party's Ian Bell, made it clear during Thursday's monthly meeting of the St. Ann Municipal Corporation that proceedings would not continue until he was provided with a satisfactory update on progress being made to refurbish a tank in his division. The tank, the only source of water in the community of Epworth, is contaminated with frog remains. Bell raised the issue at last month's meeting and was dissatisfied with the pace at which the matter is being dealt with. Bell stated that at the last meeting, I was told that the superintendent was instructed to go there and deal with the issue of the tank, and today nothing has been done at that tank, stated a frustrated Bell. During Thursday's meeting, Bell ignored the St. Anne's Bay Mayor, Michael Bell Nevis's efforts to calm him, but his outburst was temporarily quelled when the corporation's chief engineering officer, Saad Williams, provided an update. According to Williams, a second visit to the tank had revealed that the budget was not enough for temporary repairs. A second estimate had to be done, and they are waiting on the funds to move forward.
Everybody here are 6 numbers represented people. Alright, all 16 of us are represented. You're not the only one here represented.
Yeah, I'm not even know.
Right?
You have to be in today. Otherwise, you don't know.
It will not happen.
But it don't stop. Mark my word. That I just sit on the panel.
Well,
on the panel, give me something that
I was talking about the case and the meeting, Mr. Director.
No. Everyone on the community to represent people. So you can't go bylaw. Yes. You have to them one law.
Because I know the bylaw.
Okay. Yeah, but so use it. So use the bylaw for your convenience.
You can't cause him.
When you post the back of the media, no bylaw on them. Him.
No.
What do you mean nobody? Yes, ma'am. I am saying. At the last meeting, I was told that the superintendent was instructed to go there and deal with the issue of the tank. Everybody called me about the tank when they see it on the international news. And today, nothing has been done at that tank. What you want to tell me about hurricane? And then you want to tell me about hurricane? It is not going to happen here today. Mark the word. Right? No man,
some water. Calm down.
I had discussions with the CEO. Small allocation was provided for perhaps when we got here and we were looking at the remedial works, we were required, by the time we got back to our room, to get to our party here, we were required back to so, in that discussion, we're not bad. I didn't jump. So, at that point, it makes sense to start something that will not.
So, what is it that I'm going to say to people now? Diana, speak to my heart. I am talking about Shootout. Speak for my heart, you hear me? Okay. I am not satisfied with that.
You already spoke?
I'm trying to go back.
No, you already spoke more than
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.